What's the toughest part about a wound or a healing wound? The ripping off of the bandage. It hurts the most. With that, the worst is over. So you can then check on the wound and the extent to which it has healed and figure the plan of action thereon. That's what's happened at the Connection Camp, the famous Connection Camp, which was PCB's brain wave, to try and wake up the sport from its slumber in Pakistan. PCB and Mohsin Naqvi believe that Pakistan cricket needs a massive shake-up. And for that, the ripping of the band-aid has to happen, which it did, with key players in the meeting breaking the silence on the rift in the dressing room, the lack of unity that players had among themselves. It was a day-long session where top officials and key stakeholders of the sport met behind closed doors to figure what was wrong with Pakistan cricket and find a way forward from it. Shan Masood, Babar Azam, the two captains of the different formats, Jason Gillespe and Gary Kirsten, the two coaches who've been roped in just some months ago, were all present, along with some senior members, some senior players in the setup. The last 12 months or so have been one of the worst phases in Pakistan cricket. They failed miserably at the ODI World Cup. That was last year, late last year. They crashed out of the T20 World Cup just some months ago this year, losing to USA in the group stages. And recently, in Test cricket too, they crumbled to a humiliating whitewash against Bangladesh at home in front of their fans. Collectively, it's been a big mess. What the core seems to have arrived at as the cause to this horrific turn of events for a cricketing country like Pakistan is the lack of unity and spirit in that dressing room.
The session was about this, that we openly and candidly accept and identify and ask for a commitment from each other, demand it on how we can improve our performances and how we work together as a team. Our unanimous view was that we need to resolve this going forward and need to identify how we do it.
It's a good place to start. I'm talking of acceptance, of course, accepting the flaw, the self-critique, looking in and seeing that this is exactly what's wrong. That's a great place to start. But that was not the only discord that was addressed and discussed. The general disharmony between players and the management was also put out in the open. There's been friction between the two key components that are essential in the way sport is run. Many episodes come to mind. The former PCB chief trying to sabotage Babar Azam's reign as skipper in that leaked audio clip. PCB refusing in fact to sign NOCs for some of their key players to play in foreign leagues when there's no national duty. The shuffling and reshuffling of captains over the last many months resulting in further souring of the relationships in that dressing room. PCB acknowledged that this too was discussed. The coaches, Gillespe and Kirsten, for whom this is a very new experience, said that the one thing they realized through that day was that there is a lot of pride that this bunch has in representing their country and hoping to inspire others to do better. None of that has unfortunately translated in that results column that's so important and critical for any country to evolve, go forward. The main act of the ripping off of the band-aid is to see what is next. There seems to be no solution, at least so far. Not any that was spoken about in the plan of action. But the first step seems to have been taken. Let's see whether the realization translates into some real-time action. Only admission does nothing. What is the way forward is what we'll have to see.